There's a lot of guys in the industry that have been around a long time like you, and they've seen it change. And then there's a lot of new guys coming in that are 20-something, making cash and running away. They're here for 6 months, they make a shitload of cash and they disappear. So splitting that down the middle, where do you think, being like an OG of the industry in the manosphere space, where do you see it going?
So I remember there's two ways to look at this, and it won't be the first way, but I'll explain it. When we went from the blogging days to YouTube, when it went from blogs to video, that was a big change, but that was just a change of medium. So
yeah,
the difference is when you're writing blogs behind a laptop, that was sat in Starbucks, sipping a coffee, writing your blog, and then you go and pick up your kids. So it was like real human beings with real jobs, and it was just something they did for fun. And the early days of YouTube were like that. The problem, you know, where people were actually trying to help one another. And I miss those days. I really do, where like, people go, oh, I miss Chris from the garage days. Everyone loved me in the garage. You could explain that as like, when you become successful, everyone hates you. But it was more so, I think, the garage days were pure. They were raw. And it wasn't the garage. I could have been doing it from here. It was just back then the industry felt different. Nobody was trying to sell you anything. They were just making videos for improvement purposes. And it was completely different. The problem with video is it breeds narcissism. People who want to be on camera, people who want to be seen, people who want to create sound bites and go viral on TikTok, they're not good people. You can't have those same traits. Look at most actors. Most actors turn out to be pedophiles, they're molesting people, they're lunatics.
Politicians.
It comes with the industry, right?
Yeah.
You go, in the general populace, 1 in 3 are not rapists or pedophiles. But you look at something like Hollywood, it's like, yeah, 1 in 3. So you just go, well, it draws the wrong people in. You know, any girl who's ever gone viral on TikTok for shaking her ass, it's like, she's probably a massive narcissist. And they talk about my brand. It's like, you just got a bit of jelly in your butt. What are you talking about? Like, that's nothing crazy. This industry has done that. Like, you think of the Tates, Big Brother, biggest reality TV show in the UK. You don't go on that. And that's today's Love Island.
Yeah.
That's what Big Brother was back then. It was just, do you know what I mean? And you don't go on that unless you're a fame whore. You're trying to get famous. You don't go on that for any other reason. Tristan was on Shipwrecked. And with all due respect, because I like him, he's always sent me really nice messages. Chris Williamson went on, what was it, Take Me Out, the show?
Yes, and Love Island. Yeah.
The whole industry is just people who want to get famous. And that's where it's come from. Like, you can trace literally 90% of them back to a reality TV show. That's where most of them have come from. And if they haven't come from that, they come from that world. Like, you know, the whole, and like, I like these guys, but you know, the whole like Newcastle crew, when they all went to, they were all club promoters, they were all hanging out with the Geordie Shore guys, they all stayed together. They're cut from the same cloth. Everybody wanted fame, everybody wanted to be seen on camera and stuff like that. And it diluted the industry, where it went from let's help men to let me try and get famous and rich. And I remember one distinct scenario that happened. But like, first of all, I'll just explain. That was GQ in the early days. I hated GQ, and I said, GQ, I'm going to take them down. I'm going to put their head in my fridge. That was like a famous thing that I said. People always used to reference it. It was because they'd have a magazine with nothing but ads in, and they'd frame it as an interview or something like that. That's what's happened again. But everyone's doing it as a course. It's content framed as a course. You know, oh, the Matrix is after you. You better go and buy my course. And it's like the reason we all started this to help men is gone, and the people who have come in are just fame whores, and that's what they're after, and then everyone's being tarred with the same brush. And I'll never forget the day I sat down on camera one day in the garage. I was making a video, and I went, yeah, like, this is crazy. I was like, thank you guys so much. I was like, we made like £40,000 last month. Floodgates. I got about 100 messages the next day. I've been watching your content for ages. I'm going to try and do something similar to you. All these guys popped up. 6 months later, people were messaging me, you should do an interview with the Tates. They're these new guys that have done these, like, they're starting to do videos. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm older than everyone else. I remember seeing it, and all these people started messaging me. I love your content. I've started doing what you're doing. How would you recommend growing? And it was non-stop. There must have been like 50 new content creators overnight. Every week somebody was telling me about a new one. And I distinctly remember it was the day I mentioned how much money we made off the supplements and the book. And everyone went, whoa, if he can do it with his shit content, with his terrible I was a goldmine.
Yeah.
No thumbnails. I didn't come up with a clever title. Didn't give a fuck. Filming from a dusty garage with 3-4 coats on. Bold guy with a puffy face, getting 100,000 views and making 40 grand a month. And people went, well, I look better than him. I'll do a thumbnail. His camera's shit. I'll go and buy a really good camera. We'll do a catchy SEO title that we know is going to do well. We'll put money behind it on ads, and we'll do the exact same video but change the title slightly. And they did, and they got 1 million views off the same video I got 20, 30,000 views on. It was a gold mine because it's like I can copy and only 30,000 people will know I copied, and 20,000 of those won't care. And that's what happened to the industry. Instead of like creating unique content now, like people have openly said to me, please start making videos again. When I wanted to quit, they're like, because I've got nothing to talk about. They know I make a video, they'll strip it apart and then make a better version of that same video, talk about the same concept. And the creativity went out of the industry. Instead of people being guinea pigs, which is what we were in the early days, I'm going to test this on myself. I'm going to fast for a week, document it, and let you know how it's going. Now people went, I'm just going to go and buy a Lamborghini, and I'm going to tell you, if you want to live like me, buy my course.
Yeah.
And it's ruined the whole industry. But what will happen, to answer your question, because I know I go on, Gaz, is it will die. It will get torn apart and it will go to the very bottom of the ground. And anybody who's actually about it will stick around and continue doing what we're doing. And they will benefit on the back end as it regrows and becomes something new. But all the other people will disappear. They will slowly disappear because when the money goes, they will go. And that's the problem. You know, you see like different moves that people are pulling at the moment. They're like, this is my last ever course. And it'll be £1,000 on subscription.
Yeah.
And you're like,
never going to run this offer again.
That's your home run, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's your home run play. You've realised the industry's doing that. Your money's
It's
dropping.
the Hail Mary, isn't it?
It's the Hail Mary. Yeah. Well, mate, Hail Mary's a much better term. And I've always said there's certain signs of when somebody's Hail Marying in it is when they put in their price up.
Yeah.
They go, it's 20 grand to sign up now. And you're like, oh, you need to pay off taxes. You need to pay off whatever. You're trying to get rich now.
Yeah.
You're just trying to find 10 idiots to buy you a house. That's literally what you're doing. And it's like, whoever gets through this time period and maintains their morals, when we come out the other side, everyone will see they genuinely give a shit. They genuinely care about the industry. But it has to die and be burnt to pieces before it can climb back up.
Yeah, it does.